Now, I want to conclude with Hebrews 4 and verse 9. It says, there remains, therefore, a rest to the people of God. That word rest is sabbatismos. It's a rest that is going to come in the millennium for God's people. It says there remains, therefore, a sabbatismos, a rest to the people of God. You see, in our world of Sunday keeping, the Sabbath is the busiest day out there. It's the busiest shopping day. It's the busiest sports day. It's the busiest everything day. We live in a Sabbath-breaking society. Okay? And God says, but there's coming a rest for the people of God. Next verse, verse 10. For he that has entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works as God did from his. In other words, God's people are following his example. God's people rest just like God rested from his work on the Sabbath day. Next verse. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. What's this talking about? Well, it's talking about the millennial rest, the Sabbath rest that is coming when Christ returns, that will last 1,000 years when Christ sets up his kingdom on this earth. Just like God said, 6 days shall you labor, but the seventh is a Sabbath, God has allotted mankind 6,000 years to do his own thing. But the Sabbath that is coming, that Sabbath millennial rest, will consist of 1,000 years, the 1,000-year reign of Christ on this earth. Not everybody's going to enter into this rest. This is for the first fruits, the elect, the chosen. This is a reference to the first resurrection. And there's a qualifier for entering that rest. Let's notice it again. This is what qualifies you to enter that rest. For he that enters into his rest, he also has ceased from his work as God did from his. I'm David Freeman, and that's what's really in your Bible.
Does it matter which day you worship God on? The fourth commandment says, 6 days shall you labor, but the seventh day of the week is God's Sabbath day. For nearly 2,000 years, people have disagreed about which day, Saturday or Sunday, is the Christian day of weekly worship. Is this an important issue, or does it really matter when the Christian performs his worship activities? The crux of the matter is simply this: who are you obeying when you present yourself before God to worship Him? Get the facts by ordering Sunday Worship, How Sunday Worship Really Came About. Order by writing to Church of God, Rocky Mount, 27 Brookledge Lane, Rocky Mount, Virginia, 24151. That's Church of God, Rocky Mount, 27 Brookledge Lane, Rocky Mount, Virginia, 24151. Also, visit us on the web at isthatreallyinthebible.org.